There is a version of you that already lives in perfect alignment with everything you've ever desired, already clear, already connected, already powerful. But here's the shock. That version isn't in the future. It's not waiting for you to heal. It's not waiting for you to grow. It's not waiting for you to prove yourself. It already exists right now, in this very moment. And the only reason you don't feel it, the only reason you haven't become it, is because you're tuned to the wrong frequency. This isn't spiritual poetry. This is energetic mechanics. You're not creating reality through effort. You're shaping it through vibration. Your entire life is being sculpted by the signal you broadcast into the field. Every breath you take, every thought you think, every emotion you feel. All of it is a code, and the field is listening. If you've ever felt like your breakthrough is close, but always just out of reach. If clarity comes in flashes, but never stays. If you know you're meant for more, but can't quite reach it, this is why. You're not broken. You're not lost. You're not cursed. You've just been taught to trust distortion more than your own signal. There's a self within you that doesn't doubt, that doesn't chase, that doesn't shrink. A self that moves from clarity, speaks from truth, leads from presence. This self doesn't live in fear. It doesn't wait for permission. It doesn't seek validation. It simply knows. And the reason you haven't fully become it is because you've been looking for it in the wrong place. You thought it would arrive once you finally fixed yourself, once you read enough books, once you healed enough pain. But what if I told you? This self is not something you become. It's something you remember, because your higher self is not a destination. It's not a reward. It's not a future version of your personality. It is your original frequency, before the distortion, before the doubt, before the noise. And it's already here, waiting for one thing, for you to match it. Now listen closely. The only thing separating you from the life you've been trying to create is distortion. Distortion in your thoughts, distortion in your nervous system, distortion in your emotional field. That distortion is why your intuition feels unclear. It's why you hesitate. It's why you see the signs, but don't trust them. It's not because you're unworthy. It's not because you're not ready. It's because your field is still tuned to noise, and the higher self doesn't speak through noise. It speaks through coherence. So the path forward is not about chasing. It's not about hustling your way into clarity. It's not about forcing transformation. It's about resonance, because your higher self is not something you chase. It's something you tune into, just like radio waves already exist in the space around you. Silent, invisible, constant. Your higher self is the same. You don't create it. You don't earn it. You don't unlock it. You match it. And when you do, something begins to happen that no one quite prepares you for. Clarity arrives without effort. You don't need signs, because your body becomes the signal. Your thoughts stabilize. Your nervous system settles. Your energy becomes magnetic. And reality, people, opportunities, ideas begin to organize around you, as if you finally remembered the pattern that was always meant for you. This is not imagination. This is not mysticism. This is quantum architecture. In quantum mechanics, every possible version of you already exists. They're not far away. They're overlapping. They're vibrating in superposition, waiting. And what collapses possibility into form is not action, but observation. And what you observe is determined by the frequency you're tuned to. Your higher self is not just a dream. It's not a spiritual fantasy. It's a frequency signature, an energetic layer, embedded in the quantum field. It is the version of you that's already chosen trust over fear, alignment over control, resonance over reaction. It already exists. The question is, are you matching that signal? Or are you reinforcing the frequency of your current limitations? To understand this, we must borrow the lens of both mystics and physicists. Mystics spoke of the oversoul, the part of consciousness untouched by ego, by time, by trauma, the blueprint behind the mask, the witness behind the noise. Meanwhile, quantum physicists like David Bohm describe the implicate order, a folded reality beneath the surface where all outcomes already exist in potential. That implicate order is not outside of you. You are it. Your thoughts, your emotions, your very identity are emerging from this deeper field. And the higher self is not a better version of who you are. It is your original signal before interference. So the real work is not to become more. It's to remove what you are not, to recalibrate, to reprogram, to remember. And that begins with tuning, because your mind is not just a thinking machine. It's a tuner, a signal amplifier. If it's constantly set to fear, urgency, and doubt, then it cannot perceive the frequency of your higher self, no matter how loud the signs become. The way forward is not through force. It's through frequency. That means shifting your brainwave state, calming your nervous system, opening your heart field, transmitting a new emotional signature, one that matches the elevated states of your higher self: peace, clarity, trust, vision, joy, neutrality. Not concepts, not affirmations, but signals, because the higher self does not speak through logic. It speaks through coherence. That's why your most powerful insights don't arrive through overthinking, but through stillness, in the shower, in nature, in the breath between distractions. You didn't force those moments. You dropped into them. You aligned. You tuned in. And that stream of higher knowing, it's always been available. You just weren't matching it until now. So now comes the real question. Not, how do I find my higher self? But, how do I feel it now? What would it feel like to live from that signal? What would my breath do? What thought would I release? What tension would I allow to dissolve? These are not emotional questions. These are energetic calibrations, because each time you drop into that inquiry, you send a new signal into the field. And the quantum field is not passive. It's not neutral. It is interactive. It is alive. It echoes back whatever you broadcast. And the longer you hold the signal, the clearer the channel becomes. In the next phase of this journey, we go deeper. We explore the true structure of the higher self, not as a personality, not as an identity, but as a vibrational layer of your consciousness, a frequency field, pure, consistent, untouched by fear, unshaken by time. And you'll begin to feel the difference between accessing it occasionally and living from it consistently, because the truth is, you've already glimpsed it. In those moments of calm knowing, in those flashes of clarity that needed no proof, in those silences that spoke louder than thought. That wasn't coincidence. That was coherence. And the more you tune to it, the more natural it becomes. But first, we must address the distortion. Because as long as you carry interference in your thoughts, in your emotions, in your body, you will keep slipping back into the version of you that you've already outgrown. The version that doubts, that deflects, that delays. You don't need to fight it. You just need to recalibrate. Imagine two radios. One is playing static, the other, a clear symphony. You can't hear both at once. You're always tuned to one or the other, and your current frequency determines which version of you is showing up in this reality. This isn't theory, it's mechanics, it's vibrational law. And here's the key: you can learn to train this. You can strengthen your coherence. You can stabilize the signal. One of the most powerful access points to your higher self is heart-brain coherence. This is not a metaphor. This is physiology. This is measurable. When the heart field and brain rhythms are synchronized, something extraordinary happens. Your intuition heightens. Your perception expands. Your energy becomes magnetic. Your nervous system shifts from protection to reception. And your field begins to broadcast a cleaner, purer signal. The HeartMath Institute has proven this over and over again. And what this shows us is that coherence is not mystical. It's mechanical. It's trainable. It's real. And it begins with the breath. Because breath isn't just oxygen. It's your interface with the quantum field. The rhythm of your breath reflects the state of your nervous system. And the state of your nervous system determines whether you're aligned or in survival. When your breath is shallow, rapid, erratic, your body is incoherent. Your signal is scrambled. But when your breath slows, deepens, stabilizes, everything shifts. You begin to send the message, I am safe, I am open, I am tuned, and your brain responds. Your waves shift into alpha, sometimes even theta, the doorway states, where insight lives, where intuition awakens. So step 1, breathe as if you already trust life. Now, we move to emotion. Emotion, energy in motion, is the most powerful amplifier of your signal. The quantum field does not respond to your words. It responds to your emotional frequency. That's why empty affirmations don't work. That's why visualizing your goals without feeling produces no magnetism. You cannot trick the field. You can only tune to it. So if you want to access the version of you that already lives in clarity, you must feel as that version feels, not someday. Now you must generate the emotion that already lives at that level. Not neediness, not desperation, but elevated states, gratitude, peace, awe, trust, presence. These emotions are not rewards for manifesting. They are the signals that open the channel. When you feel them, even if artificially at first, you begin to entrain your body to the frequency of your higher self. So ask yourself, what would my higher self feel in this very moment? Would they feel urgency or ease? Would they feel scarcity or stillness? Would they chase validation or trust their resonance? The emotional tone is your compass. Every time you match it, you collapse more of that version into your present timeline. Now we add the third element, intention. Intention is not control. It's not trying to force reality to bend to your will. Intention is the conscious direction of your energy. It's a declaration of frequency, a setting of your inner dial. Regardless of outer circumstances, when you set intention from the heart, you're not begging the universe. You're informing it. You're stating, this is who I am now. And the field responds. It doesn't delay. It doesn't discriminate. It organizes around your coherence. So now we bring these three together. Breath, emotion, intention, your daily broadcast. A simple practice, 5 minutes, each morning, before the noise, before the scrolling, before the world takes over. Sit, still, hand over heart, not in future tense, in present. I am the signal. I am clarity embodied. I am reprogramming. Let your body hear it. Let your breath carry it. Let your nervous system relax into it. Then sit, 60 seconds, still, receiving. This isn't a ritual of effort. It's a broadcast. It doesn't fix your life. It recalibrates who you are in this moment And that, in quantum reality, is the only shift that truly changes anything. Because when the observer changes, the observed begins to reorganize. And now we must go one layer deeper. Because even when your breath is calm, even when your emotions are elevated, even when your intention is clear, there's still something that can block the signal. That something is the unconscious narrative, the silent loop in your mind that contradicts your alignment, the low-frequency script that whispers, "This isn't working. What if I fail? It's too late." And if you don't reprogram that layer, you will keep oscillating between coherence and chaos, between glimpses of your power and long stretches of confusion. Your thoughts don't need to be negative to cause interference. They just need to be incoherent. You can say, "I am peace," while thinking about bills all day. You can affirm, "I trust," while refreshing your email every hour. The field hears your vibration, not your words. It reflects the signal you truly live from. So how do we shift this? Not by arguing with old thoughts, not by force, but by replacing the signal vibrationally. Your subconscious mind does not speak in logic. It understands rhythm, emotion, and repetition. That means no debates, no long essays, just simple codes, spoken with feeling, spoken with breath, spoken with presence. Find your top 3 limiting beliefs. They usually begin with, "I'm not," "I can't," "What if?" Now invert them. Turn "I'm not ready" into "I'm prepared by presence." Turn "What if I fail?" into "I trust what flows." Turn "It always falls apart" into "Everything is reorganizing." And now, breathe. Say the new code, not from your throat, but from your field. Repeat it slowly, with emotion, with space, until your body starts to believe it. This isn't about perfect belief. It's about frequency familiarity. And the more you repeat it, especially when your brain is soft, right after waking, just before sleep, you begin to install a new energetic baseline, not mentally, energetically. This is the art of reprogramming. You're not stating a fantasy, you're sending a frequency. And the moment your baseline shifts, reality begins to organize around the new signal, not as a reward, as a reflection. So now here's your anchor phrase. Say it out loud, with presence, with feeling. I am reprogramming. Again, I am reprogramming. Let it land. Let it echo. Let it integrate. Because every time you speak it from coherence, you're collapsing the old version of you and activating the one that's been waiting all along. You have now entered the threshold of remembrance. Not learning. People will feel it without knowing why. Opportunities will move without explanation. Synchronicities will increase without effort. Because frequency doesn't need to beg, it simply aligns. You are not chasing the outcome. You are matching the version of you that already lives it. And this version is rooted, clear, still, powerful. So here's your final activation. Repeat this silently or aloud, with breath, with belief, with stillness. I no longer seek the signal. I am the signal. I no longer wait for alignment. I am alignment. I no longer ask life to show me who I am. I show life who I've decided to be. I broadcast from coherence. I walk in clarity. I move with power. I choose presence. I choose peace. I choose frequency over force. And now, I walk forward, not toward my higher self, but as my higher self. Let that land. Let it imprint into your nervous system. Let your cells memorize this truth. You don't need to hold on to it with effort. You only need to return to it again and again until it becomes your default state. This is the power of vibrational consistency. You will fall out of it. That's okay. You are human. But now you know how to return. Now you know how to realign. Now you know that the true compass has always been inside you. So here is your final call. Every single day, before the world demands your energy, before your past tries to reclaim your attention, before fear gets a chance to speak, remember the signal. Reclaim your state. Reset your field. Breathe like the future has already arrived. Feel like the shift is already here. Speak like you already are who you came here to be, because you are. You didn't come here to learn how to be powerful. You came here to remember that you already are. You didn't come here to chase alignment. You came here to restore it. You didn't come here to become worthy. You came here to embody truth. This is the quantum shift. This is the vibrational rebirth. This is the remembrance of your true identity. Now, walk, live, speak, move, choose, as the field, as the signal, as the higher self fully embodied in human form. The shift has already begun, and it begins with you. I am. I always was. I now remember. The transmission is complete. Let the signal guide you. Let your life become the proof.